Hello, hello, Facebook. Where are we at today? It's important. This is your part 2. So come on board, come on board, come on board. Here's the beauty of all this is that we are going to dig deeper into our book review again. So as you're coming on board, say hi. Give a shout out. Remember, ask questions. That's what this is all about. So, welcome back to your Facebook Live Dig Deeper Book Review. Yes, we're going we are digging deeper in the book review. And if you remember, this book review was all about last week's book that we didn't finish. And so, we're going to dig into that a little bit more. So what is a little bit more? Well, it's the other side of the book, okay? The other side of the book. So, so come on board. How you doing, Henry? My Birmingham investor down there in the deep south. This guy's killing it in Birmingham. Listen, anybody who's watching this, anybody who is in this area or just looking for tremendous deals that create cash flow, you guys need to message Henry Howard on this page right now. You need to say, Henry, call me. Henry, reach out to me. This guy is a machine down in Birmingham finding deals like crazy. Guy's got more deals than I've seen anybody do in a long time. So, Henry, keep doing what you're doing. If you're on this stream, you're coming back and you're watching this, you're looking to hook up with an investor that's getting great deals in the Birmingham area, reach out to Henry Howard. Who else says hi on there?
Paris.
Paris! You know, I've always wanted to go to Paris. Now she's here! The city of love. The city of love.
You need to... That was for Henry.
Oh, that's for Henry. Oh, the Persian cat, Henry said. Henry said I was a Persian cat. So, I don't know about that, Henry. I should have said that to you last night when you came up to Huntsville. So, but anyways, listen, we're digging deeper today. So all of my fans, my followers, welcome back to your Dig Deeper book review. This is a book review that you all should be watching. You should be sharing this stream. You see down over here in the camera somewhere down below right there, there's a share button. You need to share this stream. This is part 2 of the Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich. This is part 2 of that, okay? Why is that important? Because you need to understand how to start thinking about your life. You need to start thinking about how you're thinking and thinking about who you're thinking about and thinking about what you're not thinking about so you can think about what you need to be thinking about so that you can grow rich in any form of your life, whether it's financially, health, relationships. Rich is a word not just meaning financial. Rich means how we feel about things, okay? Toby, welcome to the stream, Toby.
Guess who else is here?
Who else is here?
So this is just a shout out because I can see that they're watching. But Tyler.
My boy Tyler. I see you sneaking in on the stream, Tyler. Good job, Jill. Call him out. He's probably sitting at a desk somewhere and he can't say anything.
Probably.
Anyways, welcome to the stream. Part 2, Dig Deeper, Think and Grow Rich. Now listen, if this is your first time on this page watching this video, go up top, like or follow us, like what we're doing here, okay? Share the stream, share the stream. I can't tell you how important it is for you to share this stream. You sharing my stream makes me more happy than you calling me and telling me how great we are. Share the stream, and now you're passing it forward. That's what this is about. It's about helping other people help other people. This is much bigger than me. This is much bigger than you. This is much bigger than anyone in my office. This is about passing the message forward. Did I see Kelly come on board too?
You did see Kelly.
Oh, Kelly, I'm going to see you in the Bahamas. Is Kelly going to the Bahamas?
I have to check back in with her. She hadn't let me know yet.
She didn't let you know yet? Kelly, you better get on board now. We're going to the Bahamas, okay? So, what's Tyler got to say? Is he saying something on there?
He hadn't said nothing.
What's that? I see something. Oh, that's Toby. I'm
Toby.
getting them confused. All right, listen, I love chatting. I love watching everybody pop on here and saying hi and all that good stuff. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. All right, so I have my voice back today. Yes, I do. I drank some throat coat. If you guys don't know what throat coat is, by the way, you need to go get it. It's called throat coat. And if you have raspy voice, or if you feel like your throat's getting sore, or if you're just losing your voice, you need to drink this stuff. It's called throat coat. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it at a health food store. It's an all-natural type of tea.
You can get it at Walmart now.
Oh, and now Wally World has it. Old Wally World. So listen to me real quick. So if you guys remember, we were digging into the first part of this book last week. And we talked about who Edwin Barnes is. You guys remember Edwin Barnes? Edwin Barnes was the guy who thought himself into a partnership with whom? Who did he think himself into a partnership with? Does anybody remember that? Who remembers? Who remembers? Who remembers? Who remembers? Anybody saying anything?
No, post your comment.
What's Toby saying?
Toby says she wants to go to the Bahamas. What does she have to do to win the trip?
Oh, I don't give those away. I don't give those are well, it's me and the partners, all my partners that I own businesses with, and all of our high-level coaching students. So it's our 1 year coaching students. We take them all on to a trip to the Bahamas. We mastermind. They get to pick the brains of all my partners and me. It's pretty intense. It's very informative, and I let my hair down a little bit, you know. All right. So who remembers Edwin Barnes? Who did he think himself into a partnership with?
Nick and Paris say Thomas Edison.
Ding, 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 ding! That's right, Thomas Edison. That's right, because if you remember the story, Edwin Barnes went to go to get a partnership with Thomas Edison, but he knew what? That he probably wasn't going to get it right away, so he was willing to do what? He was willing to put the time in at a minimum position, but never kept his focus off of where he wanted to be, and then what happens is it manifested over time, if you guys remember that correctly. We also talked about the whole story about 3 feet from gold last week, and how sometimes in life we are so close to reaching what we want and we give up. We're so close and we give up. I mean, I'll tell you a quick story. I don't know if any of my stories are quick, but I like to say anyways. But when I first started my real estate investing company over a decade and a half ago or something like that, I used to recruit people to come work for me for free. And the deal is, hey, look, you work for me for free. I'll teach you everything you need to know about real estate investing. And whatever deals we do, I'll give you a piece of the profits we make. Sounds good, right? So I had people working for me. Well, look, it was hard. These people were coming in. They were working the system, but they just couldn't hold on for some reason. And they would always build this pipeline of deals, and they would quit. So right out the gate, when I was first starting this whole thing 16 years ago, they were quit. And here's the irony to it. The first 4 people that quit, after the first one quit, not 2 days later, we closed 2 of the deals that he was working on. $30,000. I remember when the second person that ever quit me, it was like a month later, 2 of their deals fell out of the pipeline. We made over $50,000 on that. When the other 2 quit, it was literally within a couple of few weeks, we ended up making like $20,000 or $40,000 off of those. The point I'm making is it goes back to this story, 3 feet from gold. They were so close, but they couldn't hold on long enough. They couldn't stay. Who remembers what we talked about in the first part? It was the difference between wishing versus staying. Who remembers that? They could not stay that word. I'm waiting on you guys to respond to it. So they were in a wishing state of mind, a hoping state of mind. They always constantly were wishing for this success to happen, and versus being in a blank state of mind. Anybody say anything?
Nobody said anything.
Oh, you guys are. I should give you guys a test on this, shouldn't I? I should start testing you guys on these book reviews to see if it sticks with you. Because that is the difference in being present and being what? Actively present, right? Big difference. Present, someone who shows up, whatever. An actively present person is someone who's actively consuming the information, taking notes, engaging, communicating. Their hashtag, they're digging deeper, right? They're digging deeper into their own well-being to become smarter and become more knowledgeable about the process. Let me tell you something. Everybody wants to make $1 million. Oh, you're a millionaire. Oh, I want to make $1 million. Let me tell you something. You'll never make $1 million until you start getting your life right. Hashtag that, getting your life right. That's where it starts. It starts with this. Getting your life right means getting your mind right. Okay? So, we talked about the 3 feet from gold. Since nobody knows the answer, I'm not giving you a free t-shirt today. Yep, see, I was going to give out another t-shirt, but nobody knew the answer. And it's on the board. Ready. Being in a ready state of mind. See, wishing is what we all want. We wish we were successful. We wish we had $1 million. We wish upon a star. We wish we had all this stuff. We wish we had a fancy car. We wish we had a six-pack. I work on a keg, but you know, some people work on a six-pack. We wish. And wishing is not what's going to get you there. It's being ready. And like Barnes stayed ready for the opportunity to partner with Edison. 3 feet from gold. You always got to be ready for the opportunity to come. Even when you think times are hard, and they are going to get hard, you got to stay ready for this, okay? So what else did we talk about? We talked about a bunch of stuff. We talked about before success comes in any man's life, he is sure to meet with much temporary defeat and perhaps some failure. When defeat overtakes a man, the easiest and most logical thing to do is to quit. That's it. We just say, oh, that's too hard, I'll quit. That's not the ready state of mind. The ready state of mind says, man, this is hard, but I'm going to keep pushing forward. Let me explain something to you. People see me in my life today and everything that goes on. But what they didn't see was 16 years ago when I had nothing. When I was sleeping on a couch, living in my ex's parents' house, driving an old beat-up truck, barely figuring out how I was going to pay one credit card with the other credit card. They didn't see that. They didn't see the struggles that I went through and the doubts that I had. They didn't see that. They didn't witness me going through the scenarios in my head. Is this going to work? Is it not? Is it going to work? And fighting the demons out of me of the doubt. Like the doubt is a demon. You understand that? Believing in me and staying confident in me. They don't see that. They only see where I am today. But let me tell you something. Where every successful entrepreneur in this world is, you'll find a battle story behind them. Because they battled it out to get to where they are. It's like the iceberg, right? You ever seen this picture? You only see the top of the iceberg. But if you look under the water, what do you see? Sometimes it's 10 times bigger under the water. That's the entrepreneurial lifestyle. Because once you become successful and you start sharing your message, people only see the success. They don't see the struggles that you went through to get there. So when we say to you, I know where you're going through, and we say to you, it's going to get hard, but you got to keep pushing forward, we're saying it because we lived it. And we're walking testimonials of our own life. You understand that? Listen, I was not born into $1 million. I was not born into a silver spoon. None of that happened. My first car, I had to buy it. You know, my first house, I had to buy it. My school I went back to, I had to pay for it. I mean, I was buying my own clothes at 14 years old. Guys, I'm not here to say feel sorry for me because I love every minute of it. It's who I am today. But the point is it's going to get hard. But you got to realize that's the doubt taking over in your head, and you got to push through that. Here we go. More than 500 of the most successful men in this country has ever known told the author, which the author is Napoleon Hill, Their greatest success, listen, their greatest success came just one step beyond the point at which defeat had overtaken them. One step. You understand? And I can concur to that. I'll never forget the year I broke $1 million my first year. The year before that, was a hard year. And I remember I was I was down on my luck. I was feeling like it wasn't going to work as much as I was putting into it. And man, I'll never forget when I broke through, it was like somebody shot me out of a cannon. And I'm going to tell you, that's how it works. And why do I say that? Because listen, the author, Napoleon Hill, more than 500 of the most successful men this country has ever seen told the author, Napoleon Hill, their greatest success came just one step beyond the point in which defeat had overtaken them. Failure is the trickster. Failure's the trickster with a keen sense of irony and cunningness. Do you understand? Your psychological mind, your little whatever, Erin would probably know it. She's the master psychologist in this office. There's something, I think it's called an id or something like that. It's like the ego side of things. That thing back there likes to stay comfortable. It loves comfortable. It loves complacency. It wants you to stay right where you are at all times, no matter where you are. It does not want you to change. And so what does that mean? You're in a constant battle with yourself to grow and to be better and to think and grow rich. You understand? That's what it's about. All right. I'm not going to reread the whole first part, but I do like this quote. If you guys didn't write it down last time, you should write it down this time. You ready for this? You are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul. Woo, that is so good. You're the master of your fate and the captain of your soul. I just absolutely love this quote. You're the master of your fate and the captain of your soul. So what that means is it's all your responsibility. Everything's your choice. You choose it. If you choose, it's your choice. You wake up in the morning, it's your choice. You go to work, it's your choice. You don't go to work, it's your choice. You stay sick, it's your choice. Because let me tell you something. Staying sick is something you can change. Change your environment, clean your house, change your filtering systems. Do something around you that's going to remove this out of your life. Look, me, I know every year I have allergies. Every year at summertime I have allergies. I know it. But you know what I do every year to try to combat that? I change out every single filter in my house. I put or whatever those things are, those $40 a filter in my systems to try to combat that. And it helps. But what I'm saying is guys, every choice is yours. You choose what you want. You choose the lifestyle you want. Let me also tell you this. Now, I know you guys look at me and don't think I'm the healthiest guy in the world, but I am pretty healthy.
I could back you on that.
Yeah, I think that we've narrowed it down that I have a thyroid problem. Is that what it is?
Yeah, and you're trying to get your HGH naturally.
Yeah, so I think we've narrowed down I have a thyroid issue, so I'm going to get some medicine for that. Or I'm going to find a natural remedy for it. Either way, I'm going to dig into it. But what I'm saying is do you understand, like, when people say, oh, I don't have the energy, or I don't have this, or they get bad attitudes, a lot of it has to do with the way they eat. I mean, a lot of it has to do with the amount of sugar you put in your body. And why I'm talking about this, I don't know, but it's important. It has nothing to do with the book. But do you understand, like, sugar is a drug?
Yes.
Like, it is a drug. It is the most addictive drug we know on this planet. Why? Because you can get it everywhere. Now, I'm not going to go on about that. This is not a health class, but just think about that for a while, okay?
However, though, good job for you for all the work that you do put into yourself and not quitting.
That's why I love Jill. All right, we talked about chapter 2, the starting point to all achievements. Remember, we went into that. We also talked about the plan A and never having a plan B. We talked about the 6 steps of the how to fix your mind and the exact amount of money you desire, and how to set those goals for yourself. All right, now let's jump in. Let's get you back on track. So where we left off was self-confidence formula. Do you understand? Like, there's a lot of people that could be hugely successful, but they have this self-confidence issue. Like, you know, they're very introverted, but they're like geniuses. Okay, I know a lot of them. I mean, I do. I mean, it's a special breed of person, and they're the type that don't say much, but man, you know, they're super smart. Obviously, me and that type of personality is, we don't always hang out the best. Because I'm just way too loud and, as they might say, obnoxious. but it's okay, right? I mean, they are who they are, and I am who I am. But I believe self-confidence is the reason most people never reach the success that they want. And so there's some things I want to talk to you about with self-confidence. Oh, by the way, I need to talk to you about this. We are down to 5 tickets. We're down to 5 tickets. The event is right around the corner. If you have not gotten your ticket to the event, you need to jump on it. I got 5 seats left on the back row. Might as well be somewhere, right? Unless you get there early, you might be able to get on the edge. That's okay. I walk to the back. I come back and hang out with you guys to make sure you ain't sleeping. Because, you know, all the people in the back, they like to get back there because why? Because they don't want any attention. Well, guess what? I'm the wrong room to be in, because I'm going to come back there and I'm going to give you attention. So, all right. What else we got going on Facebook right now?
Well, Toby, you were talking about your health and fitness, and
yeah.
Toby started talking about you in a bikini.
You know, Toby, that'd be pretty sexy. See, that's self-confidence right there.
Kevin Berber, he's on your level. He says, oh yeah.
Good job, Kevin. Way to go. Hey, thanks for commenting, Kevin. Be part of the tribe, man. Share the stream. Share the stream. Share the stream, okay? Self-confidence formula. Here we go. Write it down. Number 1. So these are things that you need to be saying, okay? First, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistence, continuous action towards it, and its attainment. And I here and now promise to read such action. Well, I got the hiccups right there. So what is that? How many of you understand what an affirmation is? Affirmation is something that we tell ourselves over and over. For instance, when I first started doing public speaking, I'd never done it before. I had no problem talking. But I remember the first time I ever went on stage, the whole week before that, I said to myself over and over and over, I'm great at public speaking. People are going to love me as a public speaker. I'm funny, I'm charismatic, I can do this. I know what I'm talking about, and they're going to want to hear it. I would just say that over and over and over and over. So the first time I ever went on stage, it was like no big deal. Now, I will give you a little inside secret. When I used to go on stage, I would never get off of the stage. I had like this, there was like this wall there. I'd walk to the edge to go get off, and I'd be like, oh. I used the stage as a comfort zone. So, but I really eventually realized that's what I was doing, and I broke through it. All right, number 2, second, you need to say this. I realize the dominating thoughts in my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in an outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Woo! Listen to that. I'm going to read that one again, because this is so true. All right? I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in an outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into a physical reality. Woo! Guys, you understand that? Well, that basically is a fancy way of saying what we think about is who and what we become. That's exactly what it means. Now, that's a southern way of translating that for you, okay? Number 3, I know through the principles of autosuggestion, that's a powerful thing too, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back that I desire. There it is again. Think it and you shall receive it, guys. It's called manifestation. Search it out. Fourth, I have clearly written down in description of my definite chief aim in life, and I will never stop trying until I shall have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. I like that word, attainment. I don't think I ever use that word, attainment. I need to use that word more, attainment. Attainment, for its attainment. I mean, it's a powerful word when you think about it, attainment. Not acquire, but attainment. Like, I'm going to hold on to this thing. This is something I seek. This is something I'm going after. And I'm going to do whatever I need to do until I have efficiently put myself in a position for attainment. You with me? Think about it. Fifth, I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. Why do you think we do what we do? Why do you think we do real estate? Why do you think we educate? Why do you think I do all this free training? Because I believe in number 5. I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth, justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. Because that's life, okay? Now, this statement is as true as the statement that 2 and 2 are 4. You ready for this? This got a little poem in it. Let me read you a little poem today. You guys enjoying this stuff? If you enjoy it, let me see some hearts and thumbs up. Let me see some shares. That's what I want to see, some shares. There they come. Look at them. Boom, boom, boom. Rum, pum, pum, rum, pum, pum, rum, pum, 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 pum. You guys are digging it. Love it. All right. Like the wind which carries one ship east and another west, the law, guys, you got to really search this out right here. Autosuggestion. If you're hearing anything I'm saying to you in part 2 of this book review, study autosuggestion and manifestation. Study those two things, okay? Like the wind which carries one ship east and another west, the law of autosuggestion will lift you up or pull you down, according to the way you set your sails of thought. Because do you understand, if you're not consciously aware of what autosuggestion is, you don't even realize you're doing it. And autosuggestion is that quiet little voice in the back of your head. Either you're controlling it or you're letting it control you by what it tells you quietly when no one else is listening. The doubt it puts in your head or the confidence it builds in you because you're controlling the autosuggestion. Naturally, it's going to try to do whatever it thinks is going to keep you safe. And when you make changes in your life, your natural autosuggestion is to fear that, so it's going to try to make you want to stay complacent, okay? The law of autosuggestion through which any person may rise to altitude of achievement which stagger the imagination is well described in the following verse. Let me get my poem voice on.
Oh, I can't wait for this.
Hello, darling. Would you like to go dancing with me? All right. If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you like to win, but you think you can't, it is almost certain you won't. If you think you'll lose, you're lost. For out of the world we find success begins with a fellow's will. It's all in the state of mind. If you think you are outclassed, you definitely are. you've got to think high to rise. You've got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win a prize. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or the faster man, but sooner or later, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. You hear me? Listen, guys, my whole family says I'm not supposed to be where I'm at. Right? Like I was the first one to go to college out of my family. I was the first one to ever start a business. I was the first one to ever make $1 million. I was the first one to ever travel the world. I was a standard in my family as a high school dropout living off of food stamps. But I was the man who thinks he can. I was that man. I never thought I was beaten. I always said, you might knock me down, but you better run because I'm getting back up. You know, my friends used to say it to me all the time. They say, Zach, one thing I don't want to do is fight you, Zach. And I'd say, why? They'd be like, because you're so hard-headed, you won't stay down. I said, that's right. And that's how I treat life, okay? Because one thing I know for sure, and either whether it's a street fight or a life fight, if I lose the street fight, they ain't going to want to fight me again. You understand? Same thing in life. Life ain't going to want to try to keep me down for long because I'm going to punch back. And it's going to finally be like, man, leave that guy alone. And that's how you got to treat your life, guys. You got to change the way you think up here. You're not outclassed. The only person that could ever outclass you is you. Listen, my mother used to tell me all the time, Zach, never let another man make you feel lesser than they are. You stand tall, raise your head high, poke your chest out, and you walk just like they do. And that was told to me since I was a child. And let me tell you something. I've walked my whole life that way. Because at the end of the day, even though I didn't realize it, my mother was reprogramming my mind. And I didn't even have a clue. Until later on in life, I started investing in my own personal development. I started going, oh my gosh, like, no wonder I'm already doing this. Like, this was being put into me at a young age, and my mother didn't even know she was doing it. She was just trying to say to me, what we live now is not what you should have. If you want more, go get it. Don't blame other people. Don't blame society. Don't blame the government. Just go get it. Okay? Anyways, I get a little carried away with you guys, don't I? We might have to have a part 3. No. All right. Here we go. We're into the major attributes. Major attributes of a leader. Okay? I like this part. Major attributes of leadership. Anybody have any questions on that so far? We're good?
No, you just got everybody all fired up. The truth shall set you free. That's right, Zach. It's in you.
That's right. All right, you guys ready for this? The major attributes of a leadership. Okay, now remember, this is from Napoleon Hill, who interviewed 500 of the most influential people this country has ever seen. Inventors, billionaires of their era. Okay? The following are important factors of leadership. Number 1, unwavering courage. Think about that. You know, that's hard for some people. Courage isn't something that you just wake up one day and have. Let me just help you understand that. Courage is something that is deep inside of you, that is manifested over time because you learn to change the way you think about things and to have belief in yourself. So you have to have an unwavering courage. Look, do you know how many times in life I've decided to make a decision, whether it be business or personal, and people like want to talk me out of it. They want to talk me out of it, or they want to have their own opinion about it. But I have to believe in my gut, and I have to believe in what I want, and that's courage to go against the grain. That's courage. You have to do that. I teach courage to my children every day. Be a leader. Have courage. You know, go against the grain. Don't be a follower. If they're doing something that isn't right, you go stand over here and be proud to be standing on your own. Be a leader. Have courage. Have courage. Have courage. The one thing that I tell all of you, if you've got children, that you should instill into your kids now is the ability to have courage. Courage to stand up for themselves. Courage to stand alone if they have to. And courage to not be a follower. Okay? Self-control. Woo! We all got to work on this one. No, I still work on that one. But self-control, let me explain what he says here. The man who cannot control himself can never control others, right? So it's basically saying, look, if you're just flying off the seat of your pants and you're not really got any plan and you're just shooting around, how are you going to be able to guide someone else? You cannot. They won't follow you, okay? A keen sense of justice, okay? Without a sense of fairness and justice, no leader can command and retain the respect of his followers, okay? You got to have justice. You got to have a purpose. You got to know that what you're doing is the right thing, even if others tell you it's not. For instance, look, I've got people out there that tell me, oh, I'm this horrible person. Not a lot, but there's a couple. And it's over something very minimal, right? It's haters, as we say it. It's haters, because they might have got my book. Or let's say they got my monthly confidential newsletter. And they read through the newsletter and didn't do anything with it. Well, guess whose fault it is? It's mine now, right? Now it's my fault. It's all my fault, all right? Or they got my book. I don't even know where my other book is. I used to have a book in here. Or they got my book, my creative real estate investing book. And they read that book, and then a year later, they didn't do anything. So guess whose fault it is? It's my fault. It's always my fault, right? It's always my fault because why? I'm the person that sold them the book. So therefore, it's got to be the person's fault that took the money for the product that they wanted. I deal with this, but you know what? I know that I have a keen sense of justice. I know that what I'm doing is right because I have way more people telling me how great of the things that we're doing and the testimonials that we get and the success stories that we get that override all that. And I share this with you because of one thing. Not to talk about my haters because, haters are just jealous people anyways, but it's to share with you that this is part of life. Listen, my father said it best to me years ago. He said, Zach, if people ain't talking about you, then you're not doing anything. And that's what he said. So I share that with you to know that through your journey, there's going to be some people that are going to say some things to you that may make you think that you're not doing the right thing, but look deep into what you're doing. Believe in what you're doing. Quickly, okay? Because you can't hem and haw around, right? You remember Who Moved the Cheese? We did a book review on that one. You can't hem and haw around. You got to be able to say, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to make a decision. You got to be able to have the ability to make plans. Where am I going, and how am I going to get there? Setting goals for yourself. The habit of doing more than paid for. Oh my goodness! Like, are you kidding me right now? Look, there are a few people in life that will do more than what they're being paid for. Most people that have they're an employee for a company are referred to as what's called clock watchers. And some of you probably know what I'm talking about. They come in just on time. They watch the clock until lunch. They watch the clock until it's time to go home because they don't really feel the purpose. They don't really feel like that they're engaged in really helping a company grow, or maybe they just don't want to be. But the difference is that if you want to be a true leader, you got to get in the habit of doing more than what you're paid to do. That's what you got to get in the habit of. I've always done that my whole life. I said, look, here's what I'm being paid. Okay, that's what I'm being paid. It is what it is. But I'm going to do what I need to do to not only make my position great, but make sure that other people see me as a leader in the position of wherever I was working at. And it always happened, okay? A pleasing personality. I know that's tough for some of you. But let me tell you something. Positive people attract positive people, okay? Sympathetic and understanding. Mastering of details. This one I work on constantly because I'm not very good at it. But those are some qualities of a leadership, and you got to be able to define those. There's 10 major causes of failures in leadership. You ready for these? And then I'm going to take you into the 6th ghost fear, and then we'll wrap up, okay? So we come now into a major fault of leaders who fail, because it is just as essential to know what not to do than it is what to do. And guys, I say this all the time. I say it is more important to know what you're not good at than it is to what you are good at. Because if you're good at something, then that's great. That's your talent. If you're not good at something, then you've got to work on that. You've got to be able to build better communication skills or punctuation skills or leadership skills. You got to be able to work at that, okay? So number 1 is inability to organize details, meaning that You could never put A, B, C, and D together if you tried to. So we've got to, it's like telling somebody, hey, I need you to take A and attach all 1s to A, attach all 2s to B, attach all 3s to C, and you give them a project and it comes back and you've got C to 1, D to 4, A to 5, it's all jumbled up. You got to work on that, okay? Unwillingness to render humble services. Ooh, that's a good one, right? Being humble is very important. It really is. Listen, sometimes I'm not as humble as maybe I should be, but that's probably me really being hard on myself. But, a lot of the people I'm around tell me all the time, Zach, you're like one of the humblest guys I know with all that you have and all that you've done. But I still am a conscious watcher of that because I don't want to be the guy that's out here, look at me, look at all this. Like, I see that. I know people like that. And like, ugh, it just makes me want to barf, you know what I mean? So I don't want to be that way. But, I know sometimes when in the world I'm in, when I'm writing a book or I'm making a video, I have to talk about my story and where I was to where I am today. And, sometimes that makes me go, oh man, I don't want to be bragging about myself. But I think we all need to work on being humble. So, all right, number 3, expectation of pay for what they know instead of what they do with that which they know. That's an important one. There's no saying that says, it doesn't matter what you know. The world will not pay you for what you know. The world will pay you for what you do with what you know. You can be the most educated person in the room, but if you don't know what to do with it, how to make money with it, then it's useless. Listen, I know some people that are way overeducated, like way over. I got a friend that's got 2 master's degrees, and he sits at home doing nothing. Nothing. I don't get it. Like the whole new era that I feel like that we're in. What is our age group? We called the millenniums, or
we're the millennials.
We're the millennial. Even me?
Yeah.
Just make sure I'm still in that group.
You hit 40, but you're still a millennial.
Okay. So like the millenniums, if you think about it, we're a driving force of entrepreneurship. That's what we are. And even what's the generation below us?
No, I don't know. I think.
Or are they the millennials? We don't know what we're talking about over here. Okay.
No. Okay.
What's that say? They are what? I like that. Oh, okay. Anyways, the point being made is there's a large group that has come through during my age range that have become entrepreneurs. I mean, and it's because they're not with their hands out. They don't feel entitled. They're not looking. But the group coming below me, and I'm saying I'm older, but the group coming below me, especially when I lived in California, you saw it more than anything. Woo, man, they all were entitled. They had their hand out. They wanted to go to work and have, candy machines and arcade machines and beach bags and bunny rabbits and candy bars and 2-hour lunches, and that's how they wanted, right? And that wasn't the era I grew up in. I grew up in the era where you go in and you work. And if you don't have anything to do, you go find a manager and you say, hey, look, I don't have anything to do. What do you have to give me? Well, I carried that on into my business life. So, it's part of it. Fear of competition from followers. Listen, this is a downside to a leader, is that if a leader fears his followers as competition, then he's not a leader. You should engage your followers to push you to be competitive with you. Listen, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Like, I want people to challenge me. If I'm not being challenged, then I ain't doing squat. So, lack of imagination. Ooh, that's a big one, man. Imagination is what this whole world is built on. You understand that? And when you don't have it, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You don't have it. But you got to get it. Imagination is key, okay? Selfishness. This is something that a lot of us need to practice with humbleness, okay? Is what is selfishness? That's, doing for others as you want them to do for you. Like helping people out. Like, being a hand to somebody when they need it. And in a leadership role in life, when you go out and start trying to create businesses and start trying to influence people, this is that part where you're like, hey, whatever you need. I remember when I first started, as an educator, I was selfish to the core. I would call people up and say, look, I hear you got an event. You want somebody to come in and teach for you, to give you a break? You don't even have to pay me. I'll fly down on my own dollar. I'll fly down, I'll get my own hotel, and I'll teach so that you can take a break, so that your students can get some good quality information. I was doing that. I was just going in. Why? Because it goes back to the whole thing that Barnes did with Edison. Took a minimal position with the intent of knowing where he was going. Doing more than what he was being paid for. It's the whole purpose of understanding how that thought process works, okay? Intemperance, disloyalty. Ooh, I can't stand disloyalty. Like, that's one thing. If you want to see me get hot and dislocate from you, let me catch wind that someone around me is being disloyal. And look, I'm pretty clear on this. Partners, anybody. If I feel there's disloyalty, I may not come in and fire you, but you won't talk to me anymore. I will find something and somewhere to put you so that I don't have to talk to you no more. Because I don't want you around. I don't want it in my life. I don't want it around me, okay? Emphasis on the authority of a leader. That's important. Emphasis on the title. If you're so hung up on your title, listen, you can ask people that work for me. The last thing I want to be called is a boss. Yes. I'm not a boss. I'm a team player. I'm in this with you. We're in this together. We're here to build. We're here to grow. I will jump on the phone just as fast as give the commanding orders of this ship. It's just who I am. I'm a natural get in, roll up the sleeves, let's build this thing. That's just my innate nature. I could care less about my title. I could care less about it. So just know that. It's not about you being an owner or you being a manager. It's about who's going to follow you, okay? Yeah. All right.
The millennials, we are millennials.
We are the millennials.
There's also Generation X. And then you've got Generation Z or iGen or the Centennials. Which are born 1996 and later.
96 and later.
Yes, but we are millennials.
We are millennials. So the Centennials are the ones that have their hands out. Not all of you. I know there's one out there that doesn't. All right, let's go into this last part here, and I'll wrap this up with you guys. How to outwit the sixth ghost of fear. Ooh, how to outwit the sixth ghost of fear. So, this is important. A lot of you might have read this book, but you forget about chapter 15, or you didn't make it to it because it's the last chapter, and it's probably the most important chapter. Okay, let me walk you through this, okay? How to outwit the sixth ghost of fear. Take inventory of yourself as you read this closing chapter. So important. And find out how many of the ghosts are standing in your way before you can put any portion of this philosophy into successful use. Your mind must be prepared to receive it. You got to be ready. You got to be ready. You understand? You got to be ready. All right? These are indecisions, doubts, and fears. Okay? Indecisions, doubts, and fears are what build these ghosts. The 6 basic fears. You ready for them? The fear of poverty, the fear of criticism, the fear of ill health, the fear of loss of a love of someone, the fear of old age, and the fear of death. Those are fears, right? Let's see here. The fear of poverty keeps me going. It absolutely does. You got to understand something. You need to take a fear and you need to create a drive behind that fear. The fear of poverty, even though, let me be very clear with you, if I lost everything and had to go move into a trailer in a trailer park and whatever, I wouldn't care. I would. If I had to live in my car, I would. Because you know what? I know it's temporary. Like, I know it's temporary because I know what I know. And I know that give me time and I will rebuild it back again. You know, that's like when I went through my, I still even hate saying the word, the divorce, right? I mean, look, a lot got lost, a lot got sold, a lot had to be paid out. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It all can be built back, right? The fear of criticism. When I first started my info side of the business, I did fear that because there's some people that say harsh things online. And then over time, I realized that they were just sore people that were miserable in their life, and they couldn't make something work, and where others could, and so they're going to go do what they do. The fear of ill health. I wish I was afraid of that, but I'm not, and I should be, because if I had fear of ill health, I would be much healthier. I would be slimmer. I would go to the doctor and get checkups more often, but I don't fear it for some reason, and I know that's something I need to work on. The fear of loss of love of someone. You know what? I don't really fear that like most people, because I'm very comfortable with myself, and I'm also very comfortable knowing that the love I have from the Lord is more love than I could ever get from any physical person there is. And so the loss of a loved someone doesn't really I don't go in depression over it, because I don't know, I just feel like it's their loss. I mean, that might be conceited, but that's how I feel about it. The fear of old age. I don't fear old age, and I think this ties into the fear of death. I don't fear getting old. I actually look forward to it, because I don't fear death. I actually look forward to death, because I know where I'm going, and I'm excited to go there. There's a song called Mercy Me where it talks about, being on my knees and being in his presence. Like, that song is whew, it gets me. Because I look forward to that. I know that I'm just here for the moment to touch people's lives and to share my story and have fun on this earth and practice before I leave. So I don't fear those. But there are some things that we need to understand, that these are common areas in life that people fear. And so you got to work on those if you want to get your mind right. Getting your life right. Guys, you really got to see this new series I'm putting out. It's called the 5F Lifestyle. It's it's 5 video series that we're going to be putting out. It's all about the 5 F's that I live my life off of, and you're going to want to see this, okay? All right, so let me read this to you. The Devil's Workshop. Bum, 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 bum. I'm wrapping it up for you guys. The Devil's Workshop, the 7th basic evil, okay? This is what's important, all right? In addition to the 6 basic fears, there is another evil by which people suffer. Ooh, and this is a big one, okay? It constitutes a rich soil in which the seeds of failure grow abundantly. Okay? Please listen to me right now. Share this stream right now. Share it right now, because everybody needs to hear this message, okay? The 7th basic evil in life. In addition to the 6 basic fears, there is another evil by which people suffer. It constitutes a rich soil in which seeds of failure grow abundantly. It is so subtle that its presence often is not even detected. That's how subtle this thing is. You don't even know it's there. It's around you right now and you don't even realize it. This affliction cannot properly be classed as a fear. It is more deeply seated and more often fatal than all of the 6 fears, for want of a better name. Let us call this 6th evil. I can't even say this word. Stability to... I can't say it. It is stability. Sustainability. Thank you, Jill. Sustainability to negative influence. That's what I've been saying for years, right? For years I've been saying this. It's written so clearly here, if I could just read. Sustainability to negative influence. That is the devil's workshop. That we allow subtly other people's influence of negativity to overcome us. And the next thing we know, we're embraced in everybody's negativity, telling us it won't work, it can't work, you're not smart enough, you're not healthy enough, you're not skinny enough, you don't have the right color hair, you don't have the right color eyes, you don't have the right makeup on, you don't wear the right shoes, you don't drive the right car, you don't live in the right house, your kids don't go to the right school. It's all that. S-H-I-T, you know what I mean? That's what's wrong with our society, that we need self-confidence to realize that all that nonsense is the morals of a non-communicative nonsense of a person trying to put their negativity on us. That's what it comes from. That, my friend, is the sixth fear that's the devil's workshop. All these other fears, you know what's the beauty of it? All these other fears, we can see them. We can feel them. Why? Because they're inside of us. Poverty, criticism, ill will, loss of a loved one, age, death. That's a feeling that we feel in our heart, in our soul. It's there, right? The negative criticism, we don't even realize it's coming because we're allowing ourselves to be around these people, to be influenced by negative people that are just jibber-jabbering, talking negative, talking negative, talking negative, talking negative, talking negative, talking negative, that we think that we're blocking it out. But you know what? It's embedding itself in our subconscious that we think about it over and over after we leave. You've got to remove these people from your life. You've got to. And it's going to be hard because it might even be the people you love. I had to remove the closest person in my life because they were this person. Cost me half my wealth, but I had to get rid of it. You understand? I was willing to sacrifice half my wealth to live without this devil's workshop in my life. Most people won't do that. But that's how convicted I am to understanding the power of negative influence. Negative influence, my friends, is everything. It will control you. It will dominate you. It will destroy you if you allow it into your life. And you obviously can tell I'm passionate about this because I've lived it. I've fought it my whole life to be where I am right now. And you may not know it, but you're fighting it right now too. It's all around you, okay? How to protect yourself against negative influence? To protect yourself against negative influence, whether of your own making or the result of the activities of negative people around you, recognize that you have the willpower, okay? And put it into constant use until it builds a wall of immunity against negative influences in your mind. Okay, good stuff. So where I was leaving you guys at was that how powerful this whole thing is. And if all you did was get this book and read chapter 15, if that's all you did was get Think and Grow Rich and read chapter 15, it would be worth the investment. Chapter 15, okay? Because chapter 15 talks about the sixth ghost, and it breaks down the seventh, which is what we were talking about. The seventh is all about the devil's workshop, negative influence. It's there, guys. It's there. I mean, sometimes in life, we don't want to make the hardest decisions that's going to better our life because we think it's going to be an uncomfortable situation. But one of the things I think that I probably have been gifted with more than most is that I have the ability to believe in the outcome of the journey. And some people don't. Some people see the struggle of the journey. They see the fear of loss in the journey. They see the fear of struggle in the journey. But I look at it from a fear of staying where I'm at, and that if I don't make changes and I don't make a move now, then I'm going to be stuck here and miserable the rest of my life. And so you got to make changes, guys. That's the true outcome. That's the reward. That's why you get so rewarded from the journey, because you were willing to push through the struggles, push through and get help and get support. No journey is ever worth going at alone. No journey is. The more help and support you get along a journey, the faster that journey becomes, success. And so I share that with you because there's so much we can do in life when we have the right support behind us, when we have the right team supporting us. But just know that this book is powerful. Powerful, powerful, powerful. If nothing else, you read chapter 15, read it. Remove the negative influences. Remove them. Get rid of them. So, any questions that came through?
No, just everybody's all fired up.
There you go, guys. Dig deeper. dig deeper or don't dig at all. That's my quote for the day. All right? I'll see you guys at the event in a few weeks. If you're not there, that's your bad.
Square.
Or be square. Anyways, listen, guys, you know I love you. Thanks for showing up on these live streams. It's very important that you keep coming back. Share the stream. Tell your friends. We're here every Wednesday, 1:30 Eastern, for our Dig Deeper book review. Also, Tuesdays at 1:30 Eastern, we go into our real estate investing talk. You missed the last one yesterday. We went all about what makes a good deal. So I'm just helping you guys learn. Mondays, we email you out. If you're not getting those emails, check with customer support. Our REI Success Tips every Monday. Tuesday, Real Estate Investing Talk Live here on Creative Real Estate Training Academy. And Wednesdays, we do our Dig Deeper book review. So, Zack Childress, I'll see you guys next week. Bye now.